Recording this computer. Yeah. Can you see the recording thing there? Yeah, it's working. Okay, fantastic. Thank you for that. Right, okay. Let me also get, just in case people are coming in a little bit later. Okay, fantastic. Okay, right. Okay, guys, so the presentation. Okay, I just need to just turn a few screens off. There we go. Right, okay. So session 10 is going to be the second half of your day 5, which is going to be next Thursday, which I believe is the 2nd of July, okay? So in that session between 12:30 and 2, that is the window period. I mean, that session may last a bit longer, okay? Because of the fact that we're going to have to get through quite a number of presentations, okay? So we may need to finish at 3 on that day, okay? I'll just give you the heads up, given what's happened before. So just put in your diaries, 12:30 till 3 next Thursday, and I'll confirm it in an email as well. But essentially, in session 10, that is when the delegates on a course like this will then do their group presentation. So what tends to happen ordinarily is on a face-to-face course, once we do session 9 in the morning of that day, of the day 5, which takes about an hour, then delegates normally have about 2 hours with lunchtime absorbed for them to be able to work together in a room and then plan their presentation. And essentially, they come away from that particular session ready to do a group presentation where they're working in groups of 3 or 4, and then each person will then have to pitch for about 5 to 7 minutes on their chosen topic of interest. And because they work as a group, they then what actually happens then is they're obviously able to work on one theme, but then one person works on different stages. For example, there may be a lesson on letter writing. One delegate might look at grammar, one might look at spelling, one might look at vocabulary, okay? One might look at writing frames, but it's all linked to letter writing, all right? There may be another topic, maybe you might be looking at a topic of environment, but one person may be looking at one particular methodology. They may want to look at the Feynman technique. One person may look at the task-based learning framework. Somebody may want to look at the other one, PPP, which is presentation, practice, and production, okay? So which is why the whole thing about doing it in a group is so basically people also have, as part of the ethos of this course, they also gain the advantage of working collaboratively with their colleagues and content sharing and sharing of ideas, okay? It's like doing a bit of a kind of a quick think or a thought shower together and planning it together, because those opportunities are quite rare in Post 16 for colleagues to be able to do that. It's very much a kind of an individual journey. However, saying that, I totally understand and respect the circumstances that we're all in. And if people are not able to, if they're not able even to group into pairs, because, you know, we don't mind people doing things in pairs, but you still do your 5-7 minutes. That's all you have to do. But even if you get into pairs, that's fantastic, you know, to gain the benefit of collaborative working with your colleagues, particularly if there are shared areas of interest on your course, you know, like a level 2 focus, or a SPAG focus, or some other focus that's been identified, maybe from your self-assessment report or from your curriculum reviews, okay? So it's things like this where colleagues can use their imagination and frame it and augment it in their own way in terms of how they want to work. However, if physically you're not able to do that, or digitally, that's absolutely fine. Then you just need to do an individual one. At the end of the day, you know, we just want to make sure that everybody completes a presentation. But ideally, as per ethos of the course, if it can be done collaboratively, then that's fantastic. All right, guys. So that is the first point that I just wanted to make. And the activity that you're going to choose, now again, you could, if you wanted to work in pairs, you could even, or in a group, you could even mimic some kind of a role play between what would happen between the teacher and student in the session. So you could frame it as a role play that, say, for example, Shirley, you might be the teacher, and then Zubia and Joe, you might be the students, but you're acting out the role play in your presentation. So you could do it as a demonstrative style if you wanted to, or you could do it as a how-to. You know, once I get back into the institution physically, or once I, you know, or the next session I'm going to do digitally, this is how I would do it. So you could approach it as a how-to as well, all right? As well as doing it as a real demonstration. And that's really up to you how you want to do this. It's all about delegates taking some idea from the course that may have hit them between the eyes. They think it's really going to be fantastic for their learners. It's going to work for them. It's going to take them to another dimensional paradigm they've never thought about as an English language teacher. Some of you may think, well, this activity, I can get a lot of mileage out of this, because not only do I teach functional skills, I teach GCSE, I do additional learner support, I do coaching, I do this revision session, I work with this vocational course, or whatever it might be, okay? So choose something which is going to be highly beneficial, productive, and strategic for you as practitioners. So I'm looking out for you here as the practitioner in terms of your own proper, real CPD in this area of work, okay? Oh, I think I've got somebody trying to get into the meeting. Sorry, Tariq, I don't know what happened there. Jackie, welcome. Welcome, Jackie, welcome, Tariq. Okay, so I'll repeat those again. Okay, welcome, Jackie, welcome, Tariq. So we're just going through the first bit about the presentation. So session 10, Thursday afternoon is when you will do the presentations, ideally in a group, 3 to 4, or pairs, or individually, and then you choose an activity which, gain the ideas from the course, okay? Now it says groupings and ideas presentation will be discussed further. What I'd like to do is probably, guys, by day, I'd say by the start of day 4, so the beginning of next week, which is Tuesday morning, I really could do with some kind of idea of what people are thinking in terms of groupings. I don't need to know your ideas, because those can change, throughout the course, all right? So I just need to know who's going, are you going to be working individually, in groups? Can I have the names? So I can start putting in together my running order, because I also need to submit that running order to the University of Warwick as well, okay? So please, could you start thinking about it now, but come the Tuesday morning when we start the beginning of session 7, I believe it is. Yeah, session 7. Tuesday morning, we're going to start the session by getting some idea of what kind of groupings we've got, etc., etc. Okay, everybody. So I'm just now going to look at the chat, because we've had some chat coming in. Can't hear anything. Sorry, Tariq. Can you hear me now? Sorry about that, my friend. I know you've had to return back to the meeting. Oh, good. Thank you, Tariq. Well done. Oh, thank you, Joe, for that. I don't know what's happened. I'll have to check the emails and things. Yeah, morning. Okay, everybody. Fantastic. Are there any questions that anyone wants to ask now about the presentation? So just allow yourselves a minute to start thinking now. Are there any questions? Because sometimes people get worried about this, and I don't want people to worry. I just want them to feel totally relaxed and comfortable about this. And it's just a way of people just sharing their ideas and thoughts about what they would do. But I don't want people to see that this is their presentation or an observation of sorts. It's not like that at all. It's just so that, that element is completed as part of the course. And obviously, if people got any thoughts and ideas, I think we just need to get Josh back in there. Oh, I don't know what's happening. Maybe there is some. Yeah, that's fine. That's okay, Josh. Okay, Josh, can you hear me, see me now? Is that all right? Thank you, Zabia. That would be fantastic. I'm not sure what's happened there. Thanks, Josh. Brilliant. Thank you, Zabir. That would be very kind. If you wouldn't mind, I'm not quite sure why people haven't received the link. Could you please make sure that, sometimes work email addresses, that they may not accept an external one like mine. They might think of it as a spam or something. That happens a lot with prison.gov.gsi email addresses. And sometimes it happens with the ac.uk. So if you are able to give me a suitably alternative email address, then obviously you can send that to me, and that will only be used for the purpose of the delivery of this course. All right. So please, yes, guys, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's happened. If people haven't received the email, have not received the link, I don't know what's happened there. But can we now immediately, could I ask everyone, please, could you send me, for safety reasons, an alternative email contact? Because I'll be sending out an email with Padlets, with links, with the Zoom meeting ID. That's going to be going out to everybody at the end of each day. I want to make sure that people can access it. All right. Okay, that's fine. Thanks very much, Josh. That's amazing. Okay. All right, guys. There's no specific questions about the presentations? No?
You did say you were going to share what people have done in the past.
Oh, yes. Yes, okay, fantastic. Thank you. Right, now, there was one present, I'll give you some examples, some very recent ones that I did on Wednesday, then some other historical ones as well. On Wednesday, we had a presentation on letter writing, and a couple of colleagues applied the task-based learning framework. Not sure if I've gone through that already, but I will on this course. Basically, there is a central task that students have to do, which is like writing the letter. But then the pre-task is looking at all different types of activities that help people to tune into the theme and the topic of what they have to do. They don't necessarily do any spag work as such, but they do things like maybe watch a video about the context, have a discussion. They may do a listening comprehension. They may do an electronic quiz or a matching activity, or look at pictures that allude to the task. Then they do the actual task. But in the post-task consciousness raising stage, then the teachers then give out spag activities, because they know the learners are going to have an issue with some spelling problems, grammatical errors. And so the teacher has proactively created some activities crafted around letter writing, lots of multiple choice, lots of gap filling, lots of matching activities, darts activities, directed activities related to text. Anything which promotes active learning is something that's actually then promoted to the students in the post-task stage. And the post-task stage is the consciousness raising stage, where the learners, their learning begins to get motorized, because they start becoming aware of their own use of language. And then because you're introducing modeling, oh, Paul is here, because you're introducing a model approach, that then tends to spike up their consciousness around using language for letter writing. So that was one brilliant one. And they based the letter around the pandemic. They kept it very contextualized. Okay, so that's one thing. Hello, Paula, welcome. Okay, all right then. That's fine, Shirley. No problem at all about your email. Hopefully, I think you're getting all the emails anyway. Right, that was one. The other one was to do with using more videos. Okay, one teacher, what he did is he felt that because he was now working digitally a lot more, he felt that as well as doing live presentations using Zoom, he also found it very helpful to create a few videos, and he also edited the videos as a way of teaching English. So he did a kind of a video-based teaching session. His presentation was about creating videos, how to create them, and then how to adapt them for the functional skills new specs. And he also used some kind of animation using Powtoons. Not sure if you've heard of Powtoons. Powtoons help you to make your own animated cartoons. And he used that, and he created scenarios of him as the teacher and students. And it was so funny. It was brilliant. So, okay, Paula, no problem. I'm not sure why people didn't get the link. I'm not sure what happened. I sent everybody the email. So if you've not received the link, please do send me another email address if you can. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay then, right, okay, right. So those are a couple that stood out in my mind for last Wednesday. But previously, we've had presentations from delegates where, for example, for a level 2 functional skills class, new specs, they wanted the learners to have more of appreciation of metaphorical language, similes, figurative language, so learners could be introduced, could be funneled into language features and meta language where they were not ordinarily encouraged to do so. So one teacher used music, okay? They used lyrics from a Justin Timberlake song, and playing the song, doing some listening comprehension around the song, looking at the essence of the meaning behind the words, looking at what reactions, what emotional reactions you have to listen to the song as a whole, and then to drill down the lyrics, give them copies of the lyrics for them to highlight the metaphors, the metaphorical language, find out what the double meaning is in the lyrics, etc., etc., etc. So this is a more of a creative approach where the teachers here wanted to use the medium of music to engage the students. Now, music is an intelligence all of its own. I'm not sure whether some of you have come across Howard Gardner's work on the 8 multiple intelligences, or if you've come across the 8 multiple intelligence survey you can give out to students so you can find out where your learners spiked in terms of their intelligence. Are they very musically intelligent? Are they very kinesthetically intelligent? Are they more intrapersonally intelligent? Are they good reflectors? Are they more interpersonally intelligent? So all these kind of things are really critical. I don't know whether people are keen for me to send them through the Padlet a copy of the multiple intelligence survey. Would colleagues like that if I sent that on the Padlet? Because that's another way that you can learn more about your learners and how you can bespoke your teaching accordingly. Because I know, well, creativity is right at the top of Bloom's taxonomy of needs. It's right above evaluation. But if our learners are natural songwriters, natural musicians, we want to tap into that. We definitely want to tap into that intelligence. Right, we're saying yes, please. Has anybody heard of the literary rap? It's a short YouTube video created by some GCSE students on how they created a rap theme which embedded rhetorical devices and language and meta language in GCSE and functional skills that actually was in a rap theme, and it was used as a formative assessment, and it was brilliant. Anybody come across that? No? Okay, no problem. I'll send you a YouTube link and you can listen to that, because what one teacher did is they planned a little presentation on how they could get their students to develop a rap theme which encapsulated the key learning points of a lesson. And because the learners had to create the theme and the rap and their own content, by virtue of doing that, they automatically acquire the knowledge anyway, rather than it being taught through a worksheet. So, oh yes, that's great, Josh. Please could you ask your IT help desk? These are the people who save my lives. Every time I walk into a college, I always say, that's fine. I've met the principal. Now, who's your IT person? Right. Yes. Thank you so much, Josh. Thank you, Siobhan. Please, could you tell your ICT people that there's nothing wrong with my email address. Please, could they permit it so people can receive emails? Or otherwise, guys, if not, then you're going to have to send me an alternative email that will only be used for the purposes of the delivery of this course. Thank you very much for that brainwave. I never thought about that, but that's probably what's happened. Okay, then, right. So, into any other examples? Yes. There was one group presentation whereby it was brilliant, actually. It was about developing writing skills as a group of four practitioners in a college. One looked at how we would deliver this with students with dyspraxia, one with autism, one with dyslexia, and one with attention span issues, okay? So they took the same theme, but how the delivery would be augmented according to the individual needs of the students. And the other one that that was brilliant, that happened about a year ago, was that this practitioner, she did it on her own. She actually had a mental health background as well as a teaching background. And so what happened there was that she said that she wanted to adapt some of the teaching methodologies introduced onto the course, and she wanted to make sure that she heightened the awareness of mental health issues and emotional well-being issues in the delivery of the English curriculum. So what she did was in her double-pronged approach, what she did was she looked at a reading comprehension, which was about a mental health issue. She embedded all of the techniques for them to scan, for them to skim, for them to get the main purpose, role of punctuation, identify the meta language, the meaning of this, identify language fees. She did all of that, but then she did it in such a way that the learners had a better understanding of this mental health, that if it happened to them, if it happened to a loved one, a friend, they knew what they had to do, okay? So that highlighted, mental health issues as well as getting the language teaching across, if that makes sense. Right, guys, is that giving you some overview of some previous presentation? It's very practical. It's very functional. It's meant to be very orientated towards what you're doing and the challenges that you've got, or the things that you want to do. You want to extend yourselves. You want to move on and move forward with your practice as a teacher of English. So are there any thoughts or ideas there? Does anybody have any quick ideas I want to share now? Any ideas? Or has that been okay, what I've just mentioned? I think we're all good. Silence is golden. All right, okay. Okay, guys, now, what I'm going to ask you to do now is just for about a minute or so, could you please have a little think about the techniques or the methods or the resources or the nudges or the hacks that you use to help to develop the students' speaking and listening skills. So what do you do at the moment? Could you spend a couple of minutes now getting your ideas down on the group chat, please? Thank you. And again, the approaches could vary depending on who you're teaching and what you're teaching. And this time,